I never remember a team announcing the first round draft pick signed, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And sometimes there's extra thirds or no fourth, and you got a fifth and sixth. I just don't remember a second round draft pick being in the middle of draft pick announcements of signings being absentee. I think there is, I think it's safe to say and read into it that there's something, that it's not just, well, Landon didn't want to we didn't push it. His agent was on vacation. No, I think there is something that is still being negotiated that hasn't been agreed upon yet. Now, is it a massive thing that we have to go, oh, no, they're not going to get him signed. He's going to be a camp holdout. No, I don't believe that for a millisecond. But I do believe that there is something that, I hope it doesn't lend itself to bad tidings. A Football Friday edition of Mac and Mac. It is getting that much closer to the start of season. John is getting ready for some serious grass time. Got some practice to get to today. As you can see by the 2 box rather than 3 box, we're having trouble hooking up with Chris Russell, our friend from D.C., who's going to come on and talk some Washington football team with us. Hopefully we punch him up. If we don't, John and I will just continue to talk birds with you. And there was other news in addition to them making a couple of their offensive linemen, a.k.a. the battle for left tackle, available to you guys. The Eagles did announce officially the signing of several of their draft picks. And the biggest news, of course, is number 1 pick. Devonta Smith got $20 and change million guaranteed over a 4-year deal with the option for the 5th year. Slotted in, and no great surprises. I could have been within $100,000 of what the number was probably going to be, so it was no great surprise. They just made it official today. Getting all that money guaranteed is the dessert you get for being a first-round pick. You don't have to sing for your supper. You get all that money locked in, so good for Devonta Smith. Yeah, and the only thing that grabbed my attention yesterday, and again, the Eagles can announce these whenever they see fit. They've got the cap flexibility to be able to do it. Some teams actually need to create the cap flexibility to get all their guys signed or up against it. Eagles didn't have to do anything like that. They announced their first-round pick, their third-round pick, their fourth-round pick, and their fifth-round pick, and didn't announce the signing of their second-round pick. And we know who the second-round pick is, a guy who the Eagles have high hopes for going forward. Maybe not week number 1, maybe not even season number 1, because he's coming back from a major injury. But did you think there was any reading between the lines to be done with the fact that the Eagles did not announce the signing of their second-round draft pick, Landon Dickerson?
No. Generally, this stuff is just timing. As you mentioned, everything is slotted in now, Jody. I think it's been a theme of the show. If you go back years and years and years, there weren't those slots. You had holdouts, you had wrangling. Now they've set up this sort of structure in the CBA where everybody knows what they're going to get paid. So it's just timing. It's just, maybe you haven't worked things out with that particular agent. Sometimes the Eagles announce all the signings at one time.
Right.
They had a little bit more of a difficult time here because they had to wait till June 1st because they didn't have the money. And they had to wait for the designations on Malik Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. So you have that hurdle to deal with. Then it becomes, maybe an agent's doing something else with somebody else, and they just got to get back to you. I imagine everybody is done before they leave Philadelphia. It's probably going to happen today, as a matter of fact. I'll know more when I get down there. Who knows? They might even announce it before we get down there while we're on the air. That'd be nice. Eagles, closed circuit. You might as well announce it. Now, the one thing I will throw in the mix, because you bring up Landon Dickerson, occasionally agents will balk over offset language. And to me, I've always described it as sort of that married couple that doesn't like each other and immense reasons to fight. That's sort of what that wrangling of offset language has always meant to me, especially with first-round picks. Because you don't want to admit you made a mistake on a person. It's very rare, unless you look at the kid in Tennessee who just goes completely off the rails. Something weird happens. It's very rare you're going to give up on a first round pick early in his contract. Now, occasionally things happen, injuries, whatever, and you do get cut, and they don't pick up your 5th-year option. Rare occasion you get cut before the 4th year. And in that instance, teams want, if somebody else picks you up, they want that offset. Whatever they're going to pay you, we don't have to pay you. So that's sort of where the wrangling comes in. With Landon's case, maybe it's a little bit more. Maybe the Eagles are pushing it because of all the injuries. That could be a slight hurdle, but I wouldn't think it would be serious at all.
Right, because I think there's got to be something. You're trying to downplay it, and you could very well be right. You don't know. I don't know. You're giving speculation and well-known experience to the way that these things have shook out before in other places. I just am saying I never remember a team announcing the first-round draft pick signed, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. And sometimes there's extra thirds or no 4th, and you got a 5th and 6th. I just don't remember a 2nd-round draft pick being in the middle of draft pick announcements of signings being absentee. I think it's safe to say and read into it that there's something, that it's not just, well, Landon didn't want to we didn't push it. His agent was on vacation. No, I think there is something that is still being negotiated that hasn't been agreed upon yet. Now, is it a massive thing that we have to go, oh, no, they're not going to get him signed. He's going to be a camp holdout. No, I don't believe that for a millisecond. But I do believe that there is something that, I hope it doesn't lend itself to bad tidings, that one of the two sides gets either ticked off and they look at the guy askance when he comes into camp, or he looks at his coach askance when he finally gets there and signs on. I hope that's not the case, but I don't think it's as easily dismissed as, well, it doesn't even. They stop. Don't worry about it. No, I am worrying about it a little.
Stop. Don't worry about it. And now where I was saying, well, you're right. I mean, there's something going on, because if not, they would have signed everybody.
All of them.
They would have signed the 6th-round pick. That's why I say don't worry about it. I mean, the fact is that they have some salary cap issues. They had to create space to begin with. They're a little bit behind, although there's about a little bit less than half of the first-round picks are signed, I think, around the league right now. So it's not like they're the only team. My point is, the system as it's set up, there's not going to be a problem. I mean, they've eliminated that problem. So, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of wrangle room. Generally, again, I brought up offset language. Another way is, money. How much is going to be up front? How much is going to be deferred? When are these payments coming out? Sometimes they're staggered by a couple months. It could be as simple as that. My only point is, he's not going to hold out. I mean, there's no way he has no leverage. There's nothing he can do.
No, but you can say that, John. You can say that of every player. He has no leverage. No, everybody has the same leverage.
No,
you actually believe the Eagles are going to cut him?
There's a rookie wage scale in the NFL through collective bargaining now. That's the difference. Starting in 2011 and moving through to the new CBA, that's the difference. Pre-CBA, post-CBA, back in the day, you used to have holdouts all the time. Guys would hold out for weeks and weeks and weeks. Sam Bradford was the last bonus baby, so to speak, as the number 1 overall pick. Ever since that time, these are slotted positions. There's a rookie wage scale that everybody has agreed to. So, no, it's not going to – that's why I say, no, don't worry about it. There's nothing to worry about.
The only thing that is being leveraged out is the amount of the signing bonus. That's the only thing that varies. 6th and 7th, you're going to take whatever the hell you get your hands on. First-round pick, basically the whole thing's guaranteed. That 2nd and 3rd round is where the amount of signing bonus, how much is guaranteed, does have some fluctuation to it. The overall amount of the contract is basically slotted. You're right. But how much of it is, do you have to come in and sing for your supper and potentially not be able to perform and get cut, or come in and earn your money? I do think there's a bit of a negotiation here. All right, we're going to take another quick timeout. We are told that Chris Russell is now ready to join us. He's going to join us next, talk some Washington football team here on Birds 365.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.